Guys, we're back. Uncle Death, you may continue with.
Yeah. So, the thing that happened in Dying Light with the vaccine was that, essentially, the vaccine worked at first. They made everybody, basically they gave everybody a vaccine. They said, yay, we beat the virus. And then immediately they just said, well, that means it's probably dead now, and we can stop paying attention about it. Turns out viruses don't like to die, so it decided, you know what, I'm gonna mutate, see you guys later. Mutates, infects people, does the whole, zombie apocalypse thing, and then the entire world dies.
The whole world, like, they just fail.
Yep, the entirety of the world fails because, obvious fucking reasons. The zombies from Dying Light are incredibly infectious and also, more importantly, really, 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 really fucking violent.
I never would have guessed.
I mean, have you seen volatiles? Imagine having a swarm of those fuckers running towards you.
No thank you.
No thank you, and especially the part where you get your fucking limbs ripped off.
This is objectively no thank you. Anyway,
Point is, that's what happened with the vaccine over there.
Well, funguses are shit. Also, I actually have no idea. Do we actually have, like, any treatments for, like, fungal infections in the real world?
I think the only thing you can do with a fungus is to try to kill the infected area, but the thing is, according to how the cordyceps works, it goes into your fucking brain. How are you going to kill that?
Suicide.
Yeah, how are you going to kill that without by proxy killing yourself?
Well, considering we can't even cure prion diseases, yeah, no. Given our current medical technology, let's say cordyceps Last of Us happens right now. Yeah, we're not beating it. Like, I'm sorry, we are objectively not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that funguses are actually genuinely harder to cure than, like, especially if it targets the brain. Necessarily, it's not that it's hard to cure, it's that all of the, ways to cure it involve killing the fungus, which, if the fungus is inside of your fucking brain, you can see some problems there.
I think the only thing we have to treat, like, fungal infections are antibiotics in real life.
Yeah, antibiotics, and which is basically just a fancy term for a fungus killer. Dude, the game is still fucking lagging for me. Can I just, can we just calm it down? I'll just be commentary for this episode.
That's fine. You can join back later if you want.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but objectively, if the game's gonna keep lagging, I'm not enjoying it. I'm,
So, mini podcast?
Basically, I mean, you can keep playing the game, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
This is Ryan. You need some help?
Actually, I just now realized the problem with that because whenever I go back to playing my Jacob save, then we're gonna have a bit of a problem there.
Oh, it's fine. You can switch to Ryan if you want. If you want, I don't care as long as you're having a good time.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that it's probably still gonna be lagging.
True. Well, you can join back later if you want.
Also, I'd like to really quickly state something. Admittedly, well, yeah, zombie viruses are pretty, generally, it's like, oh, yeah, there's a magic cure. But, realistically, trying to reverse engineer a virus in a post-apocalypse is like trying to, come up with the cure for AIDS inside of a bean can.
Like, my brother, I mean this in the most respectful way possible. That's just objectively not gonna happen.
Brother, that's the worst part is that, in the universe of The Last of Us, they're so beyond fucked it's not even funny. They are literally at a point where, the entirety of the world's collapsed. There's probably not even functioning medical equipment.
Brother,
and they mean to tell me...
collapsed at this one. That is the last shred of human, just normal society. So at that point, yeah, it's actually game over.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that there is a functioning lab where they can do whatever horrible they want to this little girl in order to acquire the fucking, the fucking vaccine. You mean to tell me that they're just going to magically pull a, military-grade, lab with electricity and everything that they require in order to fucking fabricate a vaccine? They're just going to pull that shit out of their ass.
Let alone carry all that medical knowledge. Let's say you are a pre-infection doctor. You're going to carry all that to now, where probably, what you said, probably a lot of things is broken. Medicine has long since expired. No one's making medicine. Good luck finding asprin, buddy. And you're saying, yeah, we can make a cure, buddy. Brother, no. Number one, you have to
that's
make
another
the cure,
thing I'd like to
synthesize it.
I'm sorry, I just
fine.
fucking hate. I hate that trope of, oh, hey guys, we can make a vaccine. No, you cannot.
Like my brother. Not to mention, you have to also make sure the vaccine, you don't die of like allergens from that.
Also, more importantly, I'm not even gonna worry about the allergen part. I'm pretty sure anybody with allergies probably died by now.
Yeah.
The thing you really need to worry about is making it too strong, because, you know, the inherent nature of how a fucking zombie or vaccine works is that it's just a weaker strain of the same virus. So that would
God
mean
forbid
that if
you
you
make an
fucked
even
it up,
worse infection.
yeah, if you fucked it up, even minorly, and it is just a little too strong, then you're immediately going to have a shit ton of people that just are going to turn into zombies and start ripping people to shreds.
Not to mention, how in the world are you going to distribute it? Gone are the days of transportation.
I mean, okay, I'll give Dying Light this some credit here. In that game, there was, like, you know, the night runners and all that, and the guys who do parkour. Maybe that could work, but, like, the thing is that they can only cover so much distance.
Brother, there are no helicopters airlifting it in. This isn't... What was that? I forgot the operation, but it was like where they fixed your America. Operation, I don't know, Soaring Eagle, fuck off. Like, there's not an eagle there to save you this time, because the eagle just died.
Yeah, that is one thing I'd like to also criticize mostly, is that, like, okay, anytime... I always hate the trope of, oh yeah, humanity comes back after the military completely fucking collapses.
Like, my brother, no, you kind of need stability, law and order. At that point, it says anarchy with a fancy hat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but objectively, that is another trope I kind of do hate. Admittedly, well, yeah, I'm gonna say that eventually I do think that people might be able to get their shit together and maybe start forming little tiny communities, but that is not going to be, like, the norm. There is not going to be, like, normal law and order everywhere. It is not going to, like...
That takes
Like, I think
time, you know, man, because at that point, people are still concerned about survival of the fittest.
And also, that's another thing I'd like to hate on really fast. Whenever bandits in, like, or any kind of, like, thief or anything like that in zombie apocalypse movies just kind of, like, show up and then, like, start eyeing people down instead of immediately attacking them, because I feel like, realistically, if you saw somebody in a zombie apocalypse thing and you're a fucking murderer, thief, cannibal, whatever the fuck you are, and you see somebody who's just minding their own business, doing some scavenging, who could turn around at any given moment and leave, you're not going to sit there and be all ambush tactics bullshit. You're not going to do that. You're going to immediately charge their ass and then beat them down.
Also, if you're kind of eyeing them down, saying, hey, what are you rocking there, buddy? Yeah, that's kind of a dead giveaway that you're there to rob them.
Yeah, and also more importantly, if you're out in the open to begin with eyeing them down, I'm sorry, but objectively, you already gave up. Like, they can just run at that point.
Like, brother, at that point, you kind of just suck at your job.
I do have to give one thing I'd like to say really fast that I really did like, actually. There was, like, a scene from a certain, like, show I saw where there was, like, a bunch of, like, bandits on bikes, essentially, who drove in out of nowhere and started to rob these random survivors by circling around them. Like, you know, driving around in circles.
Yeah.
Basically, so they couldn't run because, you know, if they tried to run, then they would just be hit by one of the many motorbikes going in circles. And also, they had guns on them. So basically, there was nothing they could do there. That was a really ingenious way of robbing somebody, because they can't really run, and if they try to run, the motorcycles will just outrun them anyway.
I'm dying. I'm not having a good time. Some assistance would be required.
Oh yeah, back to the old topic at hand. I do think that, like, there are certain things that certain stories can live without, definitely. Like, humor can sometimes add to a story a lot, but sometimes at the same time, it helps to just not have any humor at all and just be straight out
Sometimes
blatant
a
with
laugh isn't there to help, man. Like, at that point, it just becomes forced and kind of cheesy, if anything.
Also, one thing I'd like to add a little bit of a, like, way to describe it. There's a difference between a character, like, you know, there's a difference between a character trying to make a situation funny and the writer trying to force comedy into a situation where it has no business being.
Like, if it's someone who can pull a joke, then yeah, go ahead. If it's someone
Oh no,
who
I don't mean
can't...
like that. I mean like, for example, if you have a character who's normally like all jokey, ha-ha, he never takes anything seriously, And then, you know, there's a situation that's incredibly serious, and he tries to make a joke, obviously, like maybe nervously. And you make it very obvious that he's also obviously uncomfortable with it, but he's just trying to use humor as a coping mechanism. There's a difference between that and actually trying to force a joke into the situation.
Sorry, I'm kind of focusing, considering I'm being eaten alive.
Yeah, there's a big difference between the writer trying to force humor into a situation and a character using humor as a coping mechanism.
Hostile infestation, kill them all. Yeah. Hang on a minute. What is the most, like, cringe-worthy joke that's been, like, forced in? Have you seen in any movie, game, TV show? What have you seen?
Well, I wouldn't say cringe-worthy. I mean, most of the time it's just, like, humor. I don't even mean it's really cringy, necessarily, to try to force humor into a scene that it has no business being in. It just feels wrong. Not really cringy, but just, like, sometimes it can feel wrong and also really, you know, make people mad, too.
And kind of annoying, depending on what it's for.
Yeah, like, it can be kind of annoying in a way.
Just when I think stuff
Also, what are some other things that you sometimes don't really like to see a lot of in a story?
To actually show up. For Sebastian?
Let's see.
Like,
trying to think of
some things that
the living need
some things that just do feel forced sometimes.
Kid, no fighter, but he's tricky.
When love is forced, like my brother, I'm here either for the game or the story. Like, sure, romance is fine. I don't care. Like, that's what I'm all for it. Gay, straight, all for it. But my brother, do not make it the main focus. Like, if that's the main focus of the game, like that's the point. Yeah, I can roll with that. But if it's in a segment or like a game that doesn't need it, like force, like, dude, I'm here for the game. I'm not here for like, oh my love, I love you, God, dude. I'm trying to slay a dragon right here. I don't care.
Okay, let's
I would like to be completely fair. Sometimes there are games where you can take that exact same idea
Fine, you take
and then make it into essentially a kind of...
I'll keep looking out here.
I'd like to bring attention to a game that used to be called Do It For Me, which the entire point of it is that you were playing as a random dude who was trying to prove his love to a, you know, girl by killing these shadow creatures. Point is that the entire purpose of the game is that you're trying to win over the girl. It was supposed to be a real Valentine's, you know, real love that guy. He's a real lover, that guy. Turns out no. It turns out the entirety of the game was actually just fantasy land. You were actually just murdering people for her. Yeah. It's really dark.
That's a little serious. That guy. That
Yeah,
sounds a
really,
little
really
too
dark. Yeah, really dark. But the thing is that inherently, the entirety of the situation wouldn't work if you weren't given the subject of that. Because if you just had a game where you ran around murdering people with no fucking idea as to why, are you even like, what the
I
fuck
mean,
is
look
the
at My
point
Friend
with that?
Pedro or Hotline Miami. You're just doing it because some fucking phone tells you to.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, is that with the subject of that specific situation, it adds to the story rather than taking away.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I'm kind of under
I'd like to be
attack.
fair, whenever a romance becomes the main draw, whenever that's not what you're going there for, yeah, I can see what you mean.
Like, dude, I'm here for the story as well. Yeah, sure, romance is cool, yeah, but dude, I'm just here for the story too. I'm here to play a game.
I would also like to really quickly play devil's advocate a little bit more. Like, for example, I'd like to give you this little thing. What about, like, natural style romance where it seems incredibly obvious that these two characters seem kind of just destined to be together? So they just, you know, really quickly kind of patch that bridge.
Oh yeah, I can roll with that, because it seems natural, it's not forced. You're saying, hey, this is what's going on, do you like it, or whatever. Because at that
Well,
point,
I'm
it's
more-
supposed to happen.
Well, I'm less so saying naturally as in that. I mean naturally as in, like, in terms of not interrupting the main flow of
Oh, well, in
the
that case,
lore.
yeah, I'm all for it, because at that point, it doesn't take away from the main part of the game. Let's say something like Skyrim there, you can fall in love, but it doesn't take away from the main game. You're still playing Fallout at heart. You're still playing Skyrim at heart as well.
I'd like to just quickly mention that, yeah, inherently there's not very many games, I'd say, that I remember specifically just randomly, like, trailing off from the main storyline in order to do some, like, weird, like, love route. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a game that does that, ever.
I mean, there's kind of the only game I could realistically say that happens is Doki Doki Literature Club, but that's kind of the whole damn point. There's a girl obsessed
Yeah, that's a
with you.
dating. Wasn't that like supposed to be a dating sim, and then it like supposed to trail off into complete fucking insanity?
Yeah, because the AI is self-aware.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Point is
like, that's
that
the
if
point.
I'm playing fucking Doom Eternal, I don't want to hear about how the Doom guy hasn't gotten a text from Jennifer in 15 days.
Oh, the Doom guy, he's supposed to fall. No, he's there to rip and tear.
Rip and tear until it is done.
The only thing the Doom guy loves is to rip and tear and his bunny.
He does love that bunny.
Kind of reminds me of Isabel. I don't know why. Just that funny little trend of Isabel and the Doom guy. That's so sweet.
Actually, I would like to really quickly go on a bit of a tangent
Go ahead.
to games that actually have done that before, that I actually think it kind of worked in.
Like what? It better be a
Okay,
game I
I'm
know,
gonna
or I'm not gonna know.
Oh yeah, don't worry. You're probably not gonna know this one. But like, okay. But let's take a game like. Let's take like a game like The Sims. Technically, love is not a requirement. You don't need your Sims to actually, you know, fall in love and all that. It's not necessarily an objective there. But the thing is that you can trail off and start doing that instead. Your storyline
can
can
do
kind
whatever
of
the hell
switch.
you want, dude. You can be a piece of shit. You can do whatever.
You can make the fucking Thuggerator.
Why? I still to this day question why you did that.
The Thugginator? Brother, it's the Thugginator.
There's also Ahmed.
Ahmed too, and also Osama bin Laden, and also fucking Morgan Freeman. I don't know why I put all the characters in one house.
I think we're a little brain dead.
I mean, you told me to, so, you know.
Shut up.
You've gone quiet. Anything wrong?
Okay, it's my fault still. Whatever. Carry on.
Well, what's like another thing that you absolutely cannot stand stand to see like forced into a storyline?
I'm trying to think of something. Dude, shut up. I'm trying to talk to a friend here. Something. The wrong genre. Like, let's say, okay, or just, okay, let me give you an example. How do I explain? We Happy Few, dude, the story there is actually really cool. Like, come on, you can agree with me there. It's a, objectively,
Yeah, okay, I'll give you
good
that. The story there is actually banger.
Yeah, it is objectively a good story, but the story is trapped in such a, like, poorly made game.
Studio 9 acting like this.
I mean, inherently that doesn't take away from the story, but it is a little bit of an inconvenience.
From the body section. I hate when like a good story, like a really good story, is trapped in like a horribly made game.
I'll give you that. I've never really seen too many situations where that's happened. Okay. I'll be generous and say that Cyberpunk had a pretty decent story that was trapped in a really shitty game.
Well, what's
I'm being generous.
Ow! I'm fucking dead.
I'm being generous to Cyberpunk here by saying that the story is good. It's okay. It's mediocre. But point is that the whole story of it was that you are a mercenary. You go do big thing. You get this chip and bad. You know, you're not supposed to put in head. But for some reason, somebody decides, you know what, no, you're going to put that chip in your head because that's the only safe place to put it. Then somebody shoots you in the face, which causes the, I'm pretty sure the chip to get stuck in there. And then you are essentially marked for death because, you know, the chip is kind of slowly taking over your brain and turning you into basically a brain-dead monster. You have this man in your head named Johnny Silverhand who was stuck on that chip. He's really pissed because he's stuck in your body, but point is that you two are soon to die. Essentially, you're going to die eventually. You are basically marked for death. You are going to die at some point. You will succumb to the grim embrace of death.
You made it sound so depressing.
Point is that you and Johnny go do a bunch of fucking, like, heists and shit like that to go basically live your best life. You basically go out and do a metric shit ton of shit to go live your best life, essentially, with the time that you have left. And well, basically the story kind of ends on a somber note where you basically have somehow you manage to get a hold of like a way to basically remove Johnny from your head, or yeah, Johnny Silverhand from your head. Or you can straight up just like give up and let his basically let him fully can take over your body essentially because obvious reasons, because you get to know him a little better.
Because at least not a piece of shit.
He's not really a piece of shit, but the thing is that he's also voiced by Keanu Reeves.
I mean, killing Keanu Reeves by itself is hard.
He actually is just, I'm not even fucking with you, he's actually just Keanu Reeves wearing a pair of glasses. I'm not even fucking with you, that's actually what he is. Point is that he takes over your body in the other ending, but that's basically it, is that you have two options. Either he takes your body, or you take him out.
But Keanu Reeves...
It is a pretty good story overall, I'd say, but like the thing is that it's just it was locked into a really bad game, dude.
Yeah, I could tell, dude. It floundered hard, and you're the guy who bought the game.
Actually, another thing I'd like to mention, a story that was kind of cool that was trapped into a really shitty game, Biomutant. The story of Biomutant is kind of cool, but the thing is that it's stuck in such a bad fucking game.
I've never heard of that game until now.
I like how you've never heard of it, even though it was all over the fucking internet for like a few days, and then it just disappeared.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, point is, Biomutant was a real piece of shit because the game sucked, but like the idea of it was cool. Like the storyline was cool because the whole point is that it takes place like millions of years after humans like basically left the Earth and died, went off into space and left. They abandoned the planet completely and left a bunch of junk and everything everywhere. Point is that they eventually life finds a way and a new sentient species comes into existence. Point is that basically everything takes place in this kind of I'd say apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic hellhole. But, with all of the plants and shrubbery and everything obscuring buildings and crap like that, it looks really cool, honestly. And also the fact that none of the, sentient creatures in this world actually know about humans. They just call them two-leggeds because that's all they know about their history. They don't know what a human is.
Okay, that's fair, but that's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
What are you doing here, two-legged?
Yeah, but point is that basically the two legs basically were these tall creatures. They're big, scary. But point is, I liked it. I liked the story of it. Shitty game though. Really shitty game.
Come on, it can't be that bad. What happened?
It's really fucking boring. Like it's not even bad. It's just boring, which is the worst thing a game can be.
Yeah, because if it's dumb or just cheesy like that, you can come back to. But if it's a game that's
brother,
boring,
if the game, even if the game is really shitty, you can still say, "God damn, that was such a piece of shit." You'll remember that because it was such a piece of shit. But the thing is that if it's really, really mediocre and to the point where you can't even say anything good about it or anything bad, then you just won't remember it.
You'll forget it, and then you'll just be like, "Oh damn, that's crazy. That was a waste of time."
Yeah.
Because for some games, they can get a cult following if they're bad. Remember fucking Big Rigs?
Yeah, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing.
Your winner. That game is objectively a piece of shit, but it has a cult following.
That game was, and I quote, your winner.
Your winner. It is objectively a piece of shit, but it's funny.
Yeah, but with a good, mediocre game, nobody will remember it, and it will fade into obscurity.
It reminds me of what someone said, old school versus outdated. Old school is something you can go back to, something that's like, hey, this is still fun even with the technology. Outdated is something you don't want to go back to.
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think of another game that had a good storyline that was locked into a really, really bad game. But I honestly don't have too many games that are just really shitty on my PS4 because, I just don't buy shit. I like to buy games that I'll actually play.
I feel like I would just buy random shitty games just because you say it's funny. Well, to be fair, sometimes I just get games because you say, boy, get it. Why? It's funny. Okay.
It's funny.
You quite literally told me to get Just Style already because, hey, why should I get it? Oh, old man with gun.
I mean, to be fair, I said Old Man Simulator, and then you immediately were like, yeah, yes.
I'm all for it. But come on, it is objectively funny. But still.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I don't actually buy that many shitty games.
Well, what's your favorite genre of game? Something you love. Something you can always
I'm not
play.
even gonna fuck with you, but I think you probably could guess this already, but like considering the fact that I platinumed For Honor, I'm really close to platinuming Ghost of Tsushima, and I also am just I feel like you don't need to even answer that question. I don't even need to really answer that question. I love fucking fantasy games. I don't know why, but anything set in the medieval ages just immediately gets me off.
Now, I can play a zombie game, but we've already brought this up a while ago. Yeah, it's getting kind of oversaturated. We keep playing zombie games.
I would like to say, though, I have to say, I do love some of the modern games, so to speak, like games that are set in the modern time period, like, you know,
I
obviously,
personally like RPG games. Even turn-based games are fun for me.
I
Because
actually do.
I can enjoy like doing whatever I want, like unique weapons and stuff like that. Things I cannot enjoy are I have a love-hate relationship with Fallout because objectively it's a great game series. I can do it, but it has some problems I just can't deal with, and it kind of irks me.
Yeah.
Like, also just hate the fact that game companies are just hate their fans. Like, dude, have you seen Nintendo? Dude,
The thing is
hate
that
you.
game companies, no, you seem to fail to realize this. Game companies don't give a shit about their fans. They only care about them because they are just money bags.
The
They don't
only
give a
company
shit what
I've
you
seen
think.
that someone even genuinely cares about fans is probably like indie games because they have a lot to lose. Big game
Also
corporations,
Devolver.
they'll be like, okay, damn, that's crazy. But hey, we
Also-
don't care. We still have big fans.
I'd like to be completely fair to you. Devolver. Just Devolver as a publisher.
Those guys are cool. Like, they actually care about their fans.
I
would've
wouldn't even
said
say that they
Valve,
care
but-
necessarily.
they
It's
still
just that they
try their
literally
best.
are. They understand the plight of a common man who doesn't have, you know, fucking $60 fucking to waste on a video game every single time. Like most of their
Ironic
games
how
are
I
like
used
$30.
to- okay, ironic how I used to think Valve was the last, like, honest gaming company. Only for me to realize, yeah, these guys are kind of assholes now.
Well, to be fair, they've always been assholes. But the thing is that they're like, you know, they're like. The thing is that you gotta realize that, you know, it's fucking Valve. They basically made VR technology.
That's true. They
Like that's
drop
like
banger
it's
after
like trying
banger,
to
then they
say
just
it's like
fucking
trying to say that
vanish.
God. It's like trying to say that God is not a douchebag. He objectively is because he just kills fucking humanity all the time. But the thing is that he also kind of created us.
I mean, to be fair, with Valve, they drop banger after banger, then they just straight up vanish.
Well, I can't really say that that's an assholish behavior, but like how they're handling like Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that, yeah, that's asshole
And
behavior.
also Half-Life 3, just Half-Life 3 in general, brother. How long has it been? It's been too long. I just know it's been too damn long.
How are they going to take the storyline any further than it already has?
Then why they leave it at a cliffhanger?
I mean, that is a good point, actually.
Like, there was clear intention saying, bro, there's more. There's gonna be more. Okay, where's the more? I don't know.
Somewhere.
But you said there's gonna be more. Yeah. Then where's it?
Somewhere.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
just keep saying somewhere.
But where's the more? I don't know. But you said there was gonna be more. I did. But where's the more? I don't know.
Somewhere.
Dude, my
Point
back
is,
killing me.
actually, I'd like to just quickly state something.
What?
I don't even think that describing a game as a genre is even really possible at this point. There are so many different games that all function incredibly differently from each other that it's kind of hard to even rope some games together in with a certain genre. Like, for example, Tabs. You can describe Totally Accurate Battle Simulator as a strategy game all you want. It is not a fucking strategy game.
Dude, look at Goat Simulator. It's quite literally nothing. It's not even a sandbox.
It's technically not even a sandbox because there's really there are objectives, but like the thing is that those objectives really just are there to upgrade your goat. That's
Yeah,
about
because
it.
quite literally, it is by default a sandbox, but not really, because a sandbox has
Another-
no objectives.
Another thing I'd like to mention also is that, like, for example, with games, you could have 100 different fantasy games, and each one could have, you could have 100 different medieval, slasher games, and each one could have different systems and implementations that would make them completely different from one another, despite being set in the exact same time period.
Uncle, do you like cheese?
That was your brain is melting, dude. Your brain is like made out of fucking liquid.
It is hot in here. What do you want from me?
Point is that the entire idea of genres in video games are just it's so outdated to begin with, because there's just so many different games that are all completely different from one another that you can't really just categorize them all under one big umbrella.
And there's always new games being developed, breaking the genre.
Yeah. Not to mention, I'm gonna just say right now, the term genre defining is like such a fucking meaningless term, because there have been so many games that have completely reshaped what a genre means.
Hang on. Oh shit! That looks awesome. Sorry, I just got something cool.
Hell, I'd argue that one of my favorite games in existence doesn't even technically have a genre.
Like what?
Give me a moment while I go look for it in my game gallery.
Take your time. We have all the time in the world.
Thorn! What the fuck would you consider this thing?
What game?
Thorn!
Thorn?
Thorn!
Born?
Gorn!
Gorn.
Yes. What? How do you not know what Gorn is?
What the fuck is that?
You were never around whenever you were never around during like the early like 20s, dude. I don't even need to. I'm sorry, but if any of you know what Gorn is, you guys probably remember this game so well, and more importantly, I'd love for any of you to try to tell me what the fuck this game is considered in the first place. Is it a fighting game? What is it? Because it's not really a fighting game. It's more. What even is it?
Something.
It's like, it's somewhere. It is technically a fighting game, but like the thing is that it's not, because it's just inherently like there's no there's no moveset per se. There's no nothing, because it's a VR game.
There's also something I noticed what you mentioned, breaking the genre, because nowadays it seems like every game is trying to break the genre.
Well, that's the thing, is that inherently, just breaking the genre just means having systems that are unique to that game specifically.
Die! Why don't you die? Oh, he's dead. Sorry.
I do have to ask, like, is there like a specific type of like game per se that you tend to like go towards? Like, for example, like, you know how people have certain stories that they like. For example, some people like mystery, some people like fantasy, some people like modern.
Well, sometimes I like modern, sometimes I'm a mixed bag. Like, it depends on what you're trying to sell me, you know? Because I'm playing Fallout, and the next thing you know, I'm playing Skyrim. You get what I mean? Like, it depends on what you're trying to offer me.
Well, that's inherently kind of the thing with me, is that, okay, admittedly, well, yeah, I do lean a bit more towards, like, medieval games. I do like fantasy and just like seeing people's universes that they've crafted. But inherently, sometimes for example, actually, I think it's just more so whenever somebody has made a unique universe, because I just now realized I have very few games that are based on even slightly based in reality.
Well, to be fair, we have a... Yeah, actually,
no, I'm gonna just really quickly...
You do mainly stick to fantasy. I don't really see you play games that send the... At most games we probably play are in the modern ages, are probably...
Like, okay, look at all of the games that I've played. When have you seen one that is really, like, basically just set in, like, America?
At most, I'd say Fallout, but that's pushing it.
And also, just like, you know, like, okay, Watch Dogs Legion is probably one because, you know, London, but the thing is that I didn't really buy it because I was interested. I bought it because I wanted to play it with you, and then it was shit.
Well, to be fair, the multiplayer, we just went for the zombies.
Yeah, that's literally all we wanted to play.
And we died a lot. We should record that one day. Like, we really should.
Yeah, also Wastelands 3, For the King, Generation Zero... Actually, Generation Zero set in Sweden.
Uncle, what is one genre you just cannot stand?
What is one genre I can't fucking stand?
Yeah, let's say, like, zombie games, survival games. What is something that you're like, no, I don't fucking want this?
I'm actually trying to think. I don't think that there's a single, like, genre of game I've really turned down. Actually, there is. Actually, I'm lying. Romantic Sims. I'm sorry, I can't fucking stand romance Sims.
Okay, that's fair. Like, I can't do it either, kind of, because it's a little bit cheesy, but...
I'm sorry, it's not that it's cheesy, it's just that I literally do not care for it. Like, if there's no gameplay, what the fuck am I here for? I'm not here to learn about you. I'm not here to do that. The only reason I'm playing the game is because I want to play the game.
Like, hey, love is fine, yay, happy, but brother, I'm here to play an actual fucking game.
Also, I'd like to just really quickly mention something. I do have to state this much. I fucking love any game with a character creator.
Oh, I love that too, because I keep seeing all the jokes where, like, it's a cutscene, the most serious thing ever, and then you have your character dressed like a fucking chicken.
Yeah, that too. Also, you know, obviously being funny, but also just the ability to insert your, basically just fully insert your own type of character into the world that is there. Like, for example,
it makes it nice because you have your own ideas. You can make a character like roleplay. Even Fallout lets you do it.
Also, I'd like to really quickly mention something. Star Wars Jedi, that game came out, and didn't play it at all because I knew that there was no character creator, which I don't know why the fuck they didn't include one. Who would not want to make their own fucking Jedi? That'd be awesome.
Me! That is objectively an awesome idea!
Who would not want to make their own Jedi, especially with all species that are in the fucking Star Wars universe and everything else? Like, how even Biomutant had a fucking character creator.
Alright, well, let me try and rephrase the question now. Let's not say genre, let's say like a trope or just something in a game that you just can't stand, like a gameplay choice or even a story choice. What's something that just irks you, like, oh, why this, or like something that just
okay, there's a lot of tropes that I absolutely cannot stand, but I think that the one that definitely peaks, like, that just fucking piques my anger to the greatest amount is, it's just whenever, like, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here. This one's like almost purely bias, but objectively, when a character wins a fight that they have absolutely no business winning because of like some fucking lore implication.
Oh,
I don't know about you.
Oh, we win with the power of friendship. No, you did not.
Oh no, not that. Not that. I don't even mean about that. I'm sorry, but I watched, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was sitting on the, like, okay, you know, Fox, okay. She wanted me to watch an episode of, like, this random anime her friend showed her.
Okay.
And I was sitting there, and I was watching this shit, and I'm not even fucking with you. This just set me off. But if you have a character whose whole thing is obviously, you know, like, they are supposed to be a well-rounded character with actual vulnerabilities and, you know, able to be beaten, do not, under any fucking context, try to come up with some random bullshit-ass lore reason for why they would win this fight against the superior opponent. There is no reason. Hell, even in the Kingsman, I made sure Henry gets his ass kicked plenty of fucking times.
Carry on, sorry, I'm just shooting the zombies.
He survives it, sure, he survives it, but that doesn't mean that he didn't get his ass kicked.
Alright, then, hang on a minute. Okay, can you at least describe what happened? I want to get a visual image.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I barely remember, but all I remember was essentially this super strong man comes out of nowhere. He starts beating the shit out of the fucking main character. Main character gets his shit pushed in, is basically fucking virtually dead. Suddenly, out of absolutely fucking nowhere, Bro basically says, "Ooga booga, I'm gonna have a flashback in the middle of this fight while I'm laying on the ground covered in blood with multiple broken ribs and bones." And then just, he basically just gets up as if all of those medical issues don't matter.
Like,
sure,
adrenaline is a good thing, like it can trigger.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It was due to the fucking flashback, which apparently was supposed to fill him in on essentially, like, it just reminded him, oh yeah, I have this one power that was, like, blatantly hidden behind his... Even fucking Fox thought it was stupid. It was dumb.
This is like the equivalent of, I beat you with the power of friendship.
No,
like,
this is literally like the equivalent of that one kid in Dodgeball who you'd hit him directly in the face with the ball and then he'd immediately say, nuh-uh, didn't happen.
This is the equivalent of like tag, when you tag them, he's like, nuh-uh, you didn't get me, you didn't get me. Like, no, I didn't get you, shut up, Timmy.
Brother, you are laying on the ground, with multiple broken bones and bleeding out of every orifice, and you mean to tell me that I did not kill you?
Ah! Uncle, the zombies are eating my ass!
Point is that I can't stand that trope of, oh, the main character wins because he's the main character. Fuck off!
He's the main character. Okay, he may be the main character, but he's not immune to the plot. Help!
Actually, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're a writer, it's really tempting to make the main character just immune to all.
Yeah, because I can kind of see that's your main character, the one that, you know, drives the story, and if they die, well, then who's next?
Okay, with modern stories, though, I'm gonna just quickly state right now, if you're writing a modern story, everybody, I'm gonna quickly state this much. If you are writing a modern story where in any way you get into a physical conflict and your character is not some kind of ultra badass Navy SEAL motherfucker, I'm sorry, but objectively, if you make them lose, you have every right to say that they lost without even giving an explanation. But if you make them win, you better have a decent explanation. Either, like, give them some kind of, like, I don't know, like, say, like, something about them being, like, more rough and tumble beforehand. Like, there has to be some kind of background of actual toughness for them to win in a situation where they have no business winning. Either that, or just say it's fucking luck, and then have them get their ass kicked later.
Like, there is no shame in admitting defeat. Like, it's
now, medieval stories, fantasy, I'll give you this. Sword fights kind of almost always end with blood and guts everywhere, so yeah, you kind of have a reason to make the main character win those.
Uncle, it's a fucking sword. You're not gonna walk away.
Yeah, you can't really. There's no way to like non-lethally incapacitate somebody with a fucking sword.
Like, dude, you don't get hit with Excalibur and walk away like it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, okay, modern stories where, like, fist fights and stuff like that are more common than getting fucking stabbed. Yeah.
Dude, my face is melting. Oh, dude, I'm tired.
Since you're the one that brought it up, then, actually, what do you think?
What do I think?
I mean, you're the one that brought it up, so logically you must have a trope that you absolutely can't stand.
Oh shit, hello, zombie. Sorry, hang on, give me a moment. A trope I cannot stand. When, let's say... Okay, now I remember. The main character or a certain character gets something they don't deserve at all. Let's say, like you said, like, dude, you don't win that. In this instance, my brother, you did not earn this power. Brother, you did not earn this character's love. What the fuck did you do? Oh, I'm the main character. Yes, you're the main character. But did you earn it, asshole? No. Then
okay,
what are you doing?
I'll give you that, yeah. If a character gains something that they have no right gaining, like, I don't know, like immense wealth or something like that, or a happy ending without actually going through any kind of character, you know, evolution as a character, there's a little bit of, like, the feeling of, why? Why the fuck did I even bother reading this at this point? Like, this is just a power trip for this one guy.
One of the funniest examples I remember that actually does it well is ironically the Lego movie. Brother did not deserve it because he wasn't the special one. It was meant to be someone else, and yet just some average Joe says, "Oh well, guess I'm in charge now," and he saves the world. Even Free Guy did it, and he's an NPC.
Well, that's one thing I'll give. Is that can be used to almost humorous effect when you think about it, because, okay, if you're just some Joe Schmo, and then all of a sudden you learn that you're special in some way, even if you're not actually special at fucking all, and you just have a brick fused to your back, that still is, it can be used for humorous effect.
Obviously.
That is one thing I do have to say, though. I'm gonna be completely honest. I never wanted to bring this up, but I actually did read Onision's book. I'm sorry, but objectively, I did buy and read that pedophile's book, not because I actually like him, but literally just because I wanted to see how much of a piece of shit it is, because I literally heard on the internet and from multiple videos that it is a piece of shit.
How bad was it?
Oh my fucking god!
That does not sound good.
Do I even need to explain why the pedophile's book was horrible?
What did he do? Did he go like, "Oh yeah, my father beat me, that's why I like to touch kids"?
Oh, no, it wasn't even that. He tried to write, like, an actual, like, story, and the thing is that it was just a complete piece of shit where he was basically mouthpiecing as a character for the entire time. And I'm not even fucking with you right now. Bro literally just paints himself as, like, the most fucking perfect man on the face of the planet, who is just this, like, ultra edgelord, the edgiest fucking man in existence. I'm not even fucking with you right now. There is a scene where he fucking breaks one of his bully's arms.
My brother, he touches kids.
I know! That's the funny part. The main character breaks a guy's arm. Somehow, mind you. Doesn't specify how. He just does. And he's never been trained, never been done anything with his life. He's a stupid fucking teenager, and he just broke somebody's arm and then doesn't get suspended for it.
Oh, you're such a hero. No, brother, no. You break someone's arm. No, not only do you get suspended, you get expelled, you go to jail, that's on your permanent record.
Hell, that's not, I'm pretty sure you're, like, not only that, I'm pretty sure they're not even gonna stop there. You're definitely going to jail there. Like, you're not only getting kicked out of the school at that point. You're getting fucking, like, you're gonna face some kind of legal action from either the family or, you know, just the, you know, your judicial system there. But point is, it pissed me off so bad to see that because, you know that one trope I listed earlier that I fucking hate?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Alright, hang on. No, two things. Uncle, I'm ending the recording. It's getting late, and I kind of have something to do. Number two, how about this? I have an offer. Why don't we turn this into a podcast, like a full-blown podcast when we have the free time? This actually sounds pretty good. Like, we have some great topics.
Okay. Wait,
I mean,
you're just leaving?
No, I'm not leaving yet. We can keep talking about this. I just want to, you know, expand upon it later into a podcast.
Okay.
We can keep talking about it here if you want.
Yeah,
Alright,
the point
bye.
is,
Alright, bye guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to Uncle's channel, and if you don't, I don't know, you're gay.
you smell toes.
Yeah, you smell toes.